morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at, well, Pokemon card 151, or I suppose as it is in English, Scarlet and Violet 151. It's a pretty cool set. There's lots of cool stuff about it. Now, there are some card reveals we need to have a little bit of a look at, some of the more interesting cards that have been shown off by the Pokemon Company in regards to this set. But first, we've got a huge surprise. Now, they did actually show off Erica's invitation, which is awesome. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But even more exciting than that, they showed us this grass energy. This is a very, 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 very big deal. And the reason it's a very, 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 very big deal is I have been pretty exhaustive in my coverage of Pokemon Card 151, the Japanese set. I have showed you everything that is worth showing you from that set. I have shown you all the cool stuff, all the reveals, all the secrets. I've shown you everything. You know what I haven't shown you? The Cosmo foil energy. Do you know why I haven't shown you the Cosmo foil energy? Because it doesn't exist. This is something that we get in our set, which elevates it above the Japanese set. Now, it's up to you whether it's far enough above the Japanese set. That one's on you, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm telling you right now, we don't have this. And oh my good, well, I say we don't have this. We do have this. Japan doesn't have this. There we go. Now, you're going to have to forgive me because I'm basically just trying to screen grab all the different kinds of energy and they're being flicked around in the video. So just, forgive me if I'm not giving you the perfect view of every energy. My point is, all of these energy are going to be available and it is absolutely fantastic. I mean, fighting is my favorite kind of energy. I've always pretty much just gravitated towards making fighting decks because I don't know, I like making fighting decks. And these are just stunning. Now, the holo pattern is reminiscent of the holo pattern back in the base set, right at the beginning of the game. And now all of a sudden, it's back. But it's on new style. The energy is the same design as we see in Scarlet and Violet. It is the Scarlet and Violet energy. It's just got this amazing holo pattern sitting behind it here, which I absolutely adore. It just looks so cool. Now, we have a bunch of questions here. The questions include, what are the pull rates? Now, my hope, and let's be clear, it is nothing but a hope, 1 per pack. It's not going to be 1 per pack. I would love it if it was 1 per pack. I think hoping for this to be 1 per pack is, aspirational, I think would be an understatement. But however it is, there are going to be, this is among the coolest energy they've ever released. I am more than happy to sit here today, weeks and weeks before the release of the set, and say this is one of the coolest energy they've ever released. Now, we all know the actual coolest energy they've ever released was, well, they did special, it's not special energy because it actually means something in the Pokemon TCG. They did really cool energy for Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which had Pokemon kind of there in the design, all silhouetted and such. And it was amazing. And then when the set Call of Legends released, they did holo versions of that energy. That is the single coolest energy, basic energy, they have ever released in the Pokemon TCG, and I will not be hearing counter arguments. This, however, is right up there, and I know there are other kinds of basic energy that they have released over the years that other people are huge fans of. That is absolutely fine. We've all got our favorites. Just as long as you don't try and convince me the Call of Legends one isn't the best, because frankly, that would be a ridiculous assertion. But this is proper job, awesome top tier energy. It has been confirmed that all the types are being represented. No, obviously not Fairy. Fairy is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we're not getting Fairy. But we are getting all of the others. So, we're getting Grass. We are getting Water. We are getting Fire. We are then getting ourselves Lightning. We are getting Psychic. We are getting Fighting. And then we're getting Darkness and Metal. Now, remember, if you can, back to the very early days of the Pokemon trading card game, Darkness and Metal in the Gen 1 sets didn't exist. They weren't a thing. There was no such thing as Darkness or Metal Energy. And actually, when they finally released them, they didn't give us basic energy. For a long time, we only had the special. So getting this design of Holo on those types of energy, absolutely brilliant, absolutely huge. Could not be more of a fan of this. I think knowing the pull rate is going to be very important, because if, let's say for argument's sake, they're one per pack, that means they're going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to get a playset of everything, and the price of all of this is just going to tank, and it's going to be fantastic. Let's say they're one every 10 packs. These are going to be really sought after. Collectors are going to want them, and players are going to want them for their favorite typings. I'm going to want them for fighting, for instance, and that's going to actually be super annoying. So I'm really hoping that isn't the case. We'll have to wait and see. But this is a huge surprise, and one we frankly did not see coming. Something we did see coming, however, was Erica's Invitation, the lovely full art version of it. Now, worth noting, this is the full art, not the special illustration rare, but this is still very, very cool. And we knew this was coming, don't get me wrong, because it's in Pokemon card 151 in Japan, and the deal's really simple. We are getting their set. Almost exactly, we are getting their set. So the fact that they had Erica meant that we were getting Erica, but it's still cool to see it in English and see how lovely and wonderful it is. Now, one question a bunch of you have had, and I've seen this asked all over the place: what about the Master Ball rares? Because in the same way that we are getting this energy that Japan isn't getting, now maybe they'll get it somewhere down the line, but 151's been out for a while in Japan and they haven't got any. What about the Master Ball rares? Let's use Erica as an example because, you know, it's an Erica kind of set. Well, in Japan, generally one per box, though the lovely Antoine Boulet has proven you can get a second, you get a Master Ball rare. Now, the way it works is, in Japan, every pack that doesn't have an artwork rare has a reverse holo, and then one of those in a box is going to be a Master Ball reverse holo. It's the same card, but you'll notice the pattern, the reverse holo pattern, rather than being based on a Pokeball, is based on a Master Ball. They are rare, they are expensive, they are hard to get hold of. Some of them, like Erica, are worth quite a bit. Pikachu is the most expensive as it stands at the moment, as I told you t'other day. Are we getting these? No. No, we're not. We're just not. Sorry. We're not getting these. We're not having them. They're not coming. We're not getting the reverse holo. We're not getting the Master Ball holo. We're not getting them. This is not the first set where this reverse holo pattern has been used in Japan. They've used it for a bunch. We've never gotten it yet. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever to presume we're getting these. Usual caveat, I don't work for the Pokemon Company. I don't have insider information. But we've seen this before. We've seen Japan have this reverse holo pattern. We didn't get it. Does anyone realistically think that we're going to get the Master Ball pattern if we don't get the reverse holo pattern? Obviously not. So, look, we get the energy, they get the Master Ball. I'm going to let you figure out which is cooler. It might actually be the energy. I'll be honest with you, it might be the energy. I am psyched about this energy. Now, there was another reveal that actually happened from this set, which I was delighted about. Wigglytuff. I love Wigglytuff. Who, I want to call him Wiggles. I want to get a thing going where everyone just calls him Wiggles. But I was singing the poker app the other day, and I realized changing his name from Wigglytuff to Wiggles would ruin the poker app. So, I think we're going to have to go back to the drawing board on that one. I'll still call him Wiggles sometimes, though. I love Wiggles. If there's any special energy attached, you get an extra 100 HP. 350 HP is huge. Don't forget that in this set, we're getting extra type belt. That is the tool card, which says that you take 30 less damage from attacks when it's attached to a stage 1, giving you an effective HP of 380, which is ridiculous for a stage 1 2-prize Pokemon. And then look, free energy 90 if you play the supporter, 90 more. The damage isn't great, but it's not terrible. Now, you may well end up using double turbo energy here, which is actually super annoying because it will reduce the damage done by 20. But this is a Pokemon that you're 2-hit KOing, yeah? And if you're 2-hit KOing, a lot of the time 160 is going to be fine. You're not one-hit KOing much of Wiggles. That's not the point. You're not going to get a lot of one-hit KOs. Stop worrying about one-hit KOs. It's not going to happen. What you are going to do is get a lot of two-hit KOs while surviving, and that is the point here. You're basically saying to your opponent, I don't think you can KO me, so I can afford to 2-hit KO because you may well be 3-hit KOing. Let's not forget we got a new Wiggles in Paldea Evolved that once during your turn allows you to attach a therapeutic energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And this is huge because it now means that you can go attach therapeutic energy, attach double turbo energy, and you've attached all three energy in one turn and you are ready to go. And of course, it's the same evolution line. They're both Wiggles. They both evolve from Jiggles. And then you've got therapeutic energy, which means you cannot be asleep, confused, or poisoned. That is awesome. The way to remember it with that energy, by the way, it prevents the special conditions that stop you attacking, not the ones that cause you damage. Yes, I know confusion causes you damage if you flip tails, but more importantly, like sleep and paralysis, it can stop you attacking, whereas burn and poison just do damage, they don't stop you attacking. I legit like Wigglytuff EX. I think it's a really good card. It is one I'm going to be playing around with. That and Copperaja are my big chunky Stage 1 EXs I really want to build around. We'll see which one ends up being the best. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about everything we talked about in this video, mostly the energy. I want to know how hyped you are, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, all kinds of fun things. Oh, and of course, get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Kanto Royalty. For some reason, Kanto Royalty always comes up for a shout-out naturally, right as I'm doing a video about Pokemon Card 151, which is all about Kanto. That makes me happy, as does the support and the loveliness of Kanto Royalty. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.